Medical dispatching is a highly complex procedure and has an impact upon a patient's outcome. It includes call taking and triage, prioritization of resources and provision of guidance and instructions to callers. Whilst emergency medical dispatchers play a key role in the process, their perception of the process is rarely reported. Our very own Apollo James explores medical dispatchers' perception of the interaction with the caller during emergency calls.
9 relay.
Roger, you are it.
That's a 10-4. Confirm your 10-3 is figures 1108.
That's not negative. That's not 10-3 of figures 1104. Confirm copy.
That's a 10-4. Otherwise, the papa is reported to be very weak, previously unconscious, but at the moment has regained consciousness. Confirm copy.
That's 10-4.
Otherwise, the papa is on recovery position at the moment. Kindly, Kilo Alpha. They are becoming impatient. Confirm copy.
Public safety dispatchers are available 24/7 to provide assistance in the event of an emergency.
Sasa ile ambulance nakutumia inatoka South Sea.
The public safety dispatcher will ask you a series of questions. The information gained from this series of questions is critical in helping to prepare the scene for the arrival of the responders. It is best to wait for the dispatcher's prompt before giving them an answer. Please be cautious about stepping away from the phone during an emergency. All this information is passed directly to the responders as they travel to the scene, enabling them to provide the fastest, most accurate response. Caller patient and responder safety is a top priority. If you believe the patient is at risk, please let the dispatcher know that there is danger so they can advise you and the responder appropriately. With this information, the dispatcher can provide you with a second set of instructions and may give advice on how to position the patient or instruct the caller on how to appropriately administer medicine or life-saving techniques as needed. Public safety dispatchers are trained professionals who are there to help.
That's a 10-4. Confirm your 10-3 is figures 1108.
A dispatcher is someone who receives the call, who now once someone calls when they have an emergency, this is the person who's seated at the office and they're receiving the call. This is at the call center. So once the dispatcher receives the instructions or the information from the client who has called, there are a couple of questions that they ask. So probably the most important thing is the location of the emergency, the patient who has been affected, what is the current condition of the patient. They have to get all this information so that they relate to the ambulance crew.
Alpha Golf Echo figures 2-1, Yankee Romeo Sierra. Otherwise, is reported to be unconscious at the moment. Confirm copy.
Go ahead.
The best and fastest way to get a response to your emergency is to patiently answer all the questions the call taker asks you.
Past Gateway, kuna Astro petrol station.
Courtesy and cooperation is key during an emergency medical dispatch instructions, as it allows them to provide the best and most accurate patient care possible.
Goya phase 1, that is house number 2. Confirm copy.
Go ahead.
Otherwise, once you are at the scene, kindly advise on the 1011 of the papa. Otherwise, the resuscitation is currently ongoing. Confirm copy.
10-4.
So once the ambulance team responds, we say it takes them about 10 minutes to maneuver through traffic, then to respond to the patient at the scene. When they arrive at the scene, the first thing that they need to do is ensure it's safe for them. Then once the scene is safe, they proceed now to take care of the patient and assess the patient and appropriately manage the patient.
Sasa ile ambulance nakutumia.
We understand that it can be difficult to be a bit patient when you're terrified and anxious, but if you can remain as calm as possible and answer questions clearly, things will go much faster. When seconds count, you don't want to waste any time repeating yourself or screaming while the call taker tries to calm you down.
Okay, karibu.
That's it for today from the Dispatch Center with your network of dispatcher paramedics and lifesavers. Apollo James, Switch Television.
Salute to all those on the front line in their quest to save lives. Thank you, Apollo James, for that story.